You're muted. I can't unmute you, Jace.
Got it done. Sorry, technical glitch. Beg your pardon.
We were dancing though, weren't we? Really dancing to that? Because I love that tune.
People really missed out there, didn't they? That was a spectacular show. Behind the stage there, behind the scenes. But yeah, thanks Foster for joining me. Welcome to the British Bears show. As you can see, sadly we're down on Chris Watts. Unfortunately, he's not very well, and I was too excited to not do the show this week. So here we are. So very gratefully that Foster has stepped in for Chris this week, and he's going to listen to me wanging on for a little bit about the Bears. So thanks everyone for joining us. Big shout out to the guys in the chat already. You can see Patty Laura jumped in, but we're going to catch us later. Ant Mass and Brewhos7 are in there along with all the other guys. I know it's early for you guys in the US because you're all still at work or do whatever. Or Don Burr's still doing his homework. And of course, this is the whole point of this show is that we want to get a voice for sort of European Bears fans, of which there are a lot. So we do it at a time more convenient for us. So anyone that catches it, if you do see us, we're usually 9 o'clock on a Tuesday. So British Bears fans, come and join in. We want to sort of have a place where we can collect and chat about the Bears, which should be an exciting season, we all hope. So yeah, how you doing, Foster?
Hanging in there, man. We're kind of a day late, but things happen.
Yeah, exactly. We should have been yesterday, and then like I say, Chris wasn't very well. Get well soon, mate. I hope you're back with us soon, and then we'll see him soon, and then we'll crack on from next week, hopefully. But yeah, thanks Foster for stepping in so that I could still do my little show this week and just vent some of my excitement at coming Sunday. But yeah, so we're good to go, aren't we? So quickly, me and Chris haven't done a show for a couple of weeks, so we missed the cut downs. So that's the big news, obviously, recently from our end. From our show perspective, cut down to 53. We lost Brendan Bates, unsurprisingly. I knew he wouldn't make it past waivers, gone to the Jets. I was hoping we might be able to fit him in, but I just didn't see how we'd run with 4 tight ends. I just couldn't see it. Yeah. So maybe we can pick him up in another way. But yeah, he had a great preseason and good for him, man. He's got himself on the team and yeah, he deserves it. Ian Wheeler, obviously. Oh, I forgot. I don't get to see Hard Knocks until Thursday. All right. So I went, no spoilers from anyone. Okay. Yeah. No spoilers because I haven't seen the last episode yet. I see it tomorrow because I get it on NFL Game Pass on DAZN. So I don't see it till Thursday. So no spoilers in the chat about Hard Knocks. All right. I haven't seen the last one yet, but I'm loving that. I was a tear in my eye watching about Ian Wheeler, man. That was harsh, wasn't it? Watching him, and we'd heard about it, but I just think, I know on your show, Thursday show, Foster, PJ was saying that he didn't really feel much. It's like, yeah, well, it's football, which I get. Yeah. But I say, man, these guys got ice in his veins, isn't he? I was nearly crying on the sofa watching that because the poor guy's his dream. And, it's an ACL. He's out all year. But I really loved the way that Ryan Poles said, you're on the team. We're going to look after you. Anything you need. My door's open. My phone's on. So I'm hoping. And I think I messaged to Shorty to say, or I can't remember why I wrote it, but it could work out for him because, this day and age where the teams do not pay running backs. Yeah. Maybe they'll let Herbert go next year, as much as I don't really want that. They're going to pay him big money and Swift, so they probably won't. So that could be Wheeler's chance to step into that, get a good rehab, come back strong. Because I like what I saw from him, to be honest. I think he really hits the whole hard. He hits with pace, his real speed through the gaps. So, yeah, good luck to him. I hope he recovers well. Yeah. The O-line, D-line, we sort of mentioned them, took 10 on each, didn't they, on the 53? So that was quite a surprise. Normally they're run with 9. And then the new additions too, isn't there? Chris Williams and Darrell, what was his name? The edge rusher they got as well. Can't remember. I didn't write him down. But yeah, so yeah, we'll see how we go with that going into the season. But kind of happy with the 53, I think. No real surprises. I'm glad we kept Baskerville, Reddy Stewart, Austin Reed, and Colin Johnson on the practice squad. But yeah, other than that, anything I've missed about that, the cut downs of 53, the practice squad? How do you feel? I know you have concerns about the interior O-line.
Yeah, I always harp on that because I don't know exactly what we have, but I do. Or should I be talking like this now because I'm on the British Bears show, or am I doing Irish? I don't even know.
You don't have to, mate. Don't worry.
Try and do me Paul or me Ringo, but
at least it's not as bad as short as Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke that he does. That's right, a lot of you guys we get that to call blimey, mate. What do you think of that? And it's like this strange. So yeah, no, you be you, Foster. We're happy with that.
It'd be better if I was from Boston because it's wicked hardcore, man. But my second thing, and I've been looking at this the last week, going, okay, we've got a really good defense, but you know what? With the line that we do have intact today, and the other defensive end, because we don't really know exactly who it's going to be and how successful they're going to be. That's probably the second weak link, and that would, if they can't rush the passer at over a 20% rate, that's going to be the second weakest link to me in the Bears team. Because anybody who watches us on Thursday, BCP, the Bears Country podcast by Bears Country Productions, they know I've been harping on the interior offensive line all year, and now I'm even a little concerned with, believe it or not, Borum not being there makes me worry about the tackle position too. Because it's just the injury bug, man. It's staying healthy, and then this offense, for the team to succeed, the offense has got to not make mistakes, and the defense has got to pick up where they left off last year and improve. So you've covered it. We've talked about it on Thursdays. It's been the talk for the last, since it was released and to today, the roster, and it's always been the same couple guys. It's Bates or Reddy Stewart. Thank God he's on the practice squad. It's so we've got that all pretty much in common. I think most Bears fans are on the same page with what you were going through there, Chase.
Yeah. I think the one thing that gives me a bit of hope is that in the preseason, there didn't seem to be too many penalties on our O-line. That's one thing that people criticize some of the players for, isn't it? We were quite penalty light, really, I thought, in the preseason, which is good. The other thing I noticed with the preseason was the tackling, open field tackling. I don't remember us missing too many, if any. Well, our open field tackling was great. But yeah, the penalties quite pleased me a lot, especially which game was it? The Bengals game? Which one was it? Or was it the Bills? There was just horrendous amount of penalties on the other team, and we were doing pretty well. I can't remember which one it was, but I'm pleased that there have been fewer penalties, so less false starts, that kind of thing, less holding. So I do feel like we've got more experience depth. Although, of course, Whitehair and Patrick were plenty of experience, but I think they were just past their best, weren't they? So I like Matt Pryor. I think he brings a lot, and we'll have to see. Hopefully, Karan Amagaji can get some good. He's had no reps in preseason, so he's active now. So hopefully they can get him up to speed quickly as our swing tackle. I know Pryor can play there, but Bates is a miss. He's been injured for a while.
Pryor, so because I was looking at him, because I was like, that was a great pickup, I thought, when we originally did it, because the guy's got time in at all four of those offensive line positions, and I believe left tackle is where he's played the least amount of games. We saw what he did at right guard. If you watch those couple games, and the one in particular, he was in where he started. He had guys on the ground, so I really like that move. I'm confident in Pryor. Again, it's a health thing with the line. But on the all with it could be better off than I anticipated. But we're just not going to know till Sunday, man.
No, exactly. Yeah,
Titans defense isn't a cakewalk, no matter what anybody says.
No, absolutely, and they've improved the secondary. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, but exactly. So I think that's a big deal. Yeah, you're right. But I think hopefully the key is staying healthy, isn't it? And it's like the same with everyone. You only got 53 slots, so most teams are an injury or two away from being a bit screwed. So if we, knock on wood, and Flus said it today in his press conference that we've been healthy. So generally we have. If we can stay that way,
and if you remember last year, what do we have? Like 5 or 6 guys out with soft tissue injuries right going into the season.
Yeah.
And the year before we were at injury bugs too. This is probably the healthiest roster that Poles has had since he's been here to start the season.
Probably is.
Somebody was always hurt, man, the last 2 seasons, and especially at the beginning of the season. Go back and look at it. I don't remember who, but I was like, man, it was a nightmare because everybody was injured.
Yeah. So no, we're kind of in good shape. So what else has happened since we our last show? I think DJ Moore had his extension, which I am super happy about. The more I see of him, the more I love that man. He's incredible, isn't he? He's just brilliant. He's a great guy. He's not a sort of, a shouty leadership kind of bloke. He isn't, screaming and hollering, but he's a great character, high character individual, isn't he? And he loves football. And you're just going to just tell. And I'm just really pleased that he wants to stay, and hopefully he'll break some records. But yeah, that's a massive, massive, massive deal. about getting him signed to that 6-year extension, like Bear for life, isn't he? So I
Did,
might
yeah,
consider
did,
getting,
did you or anybody see the Bears put out a video today? And it's some stuff from Hard Knocks. I won't say, exactly. It's not like critical, but he was with his kid, and it's not going to make or break your story because you didn't see this yet. But he was with his kid going through their new house where he's setting up roots, and he's like, "Yeah, we got the next 6 years is going to be great, and hopefully I can retire as a Bear." So I don't know if anybody's. Yeah. He did say that. It was just released today it was through the Bears, through Hard Knocks or something. I saw it on YouTube, a YouTube short. I was like, wow, I got to stop and watch this. So just saying, I really like the guy too, man. I think that was just so underrated. Everybody's got him underrated. I had a guy last year telling me that he wasn't even in his top 30 wide receivers. And I was like, well, something's wrong with you, pal. Because he should have been at least like number 10 or 11 last year. I mean, just on my calculations.
Yeah, well, he was, on his stats, he was top 10, wasn't he? Top 10 and 11, was it?
Right.
Him and were top 10 and 11 in the league, in the NFL. Yeah. So, and I think, great point by Shorty. Hello, Shorty. I know he's listening at work. He says, plus he took less money. He wasn't greedy. And the thing is that because that extension doesn't kick in for 2 years, by that time, the market will have moved on even more. So your people like your Justin Jeffersons and your Tyreek Hills and all those guys are going to be screaming for millions and millions of dollars. This is going to look like an absolute bargain in 2-3 years' time when DJ's on his $110 million contract. And he's just, it's a team-friendly deal. He wasn't greedy. He just took the money and stayed comfortable, with where he's at with the team. He obviously likes it here, which is great. So jacked. Yeah, Shorty, so jacked to be going to Caleb's first game. I am not surprised, mate. And that I was chatting to Shorty earlier, and I can't believe I've never seen the Bears live ever, only on TV. And this season I'm getting to 3 games. So it's the perfect season to be seeing my first Bears football in the flesh. So I'm so excited about it. I cannot wait to see that. So are you ready for the first stat bomb? Seeing as you mentioned we mentioned DJ Moore. Are you ready, Foster?
I am not ready.
Comments. Do you want me to do it?
I don't know why, because it was just here and now it's missing again. But you know what? You got? I think I got it.
This is what people come here for. Have you got it? Do you want me to do it? Excellent. There we got there in the end. See, it's worth hanging around for. So, stat bomb. This is my stat bomb. DJ Moore is ranked 5th all-time in yards before the age of 27. Only Randy Moss, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Evans, and Larry Fitzgerald have caught more yards. Got more yards as a receiver in the NFL than DJ Moore at the age of 27. So the guy's legit number one. And I'd say that guy you say who thinks he isn't top 100 that's a joke. That's a nice little list there. I think I think 4 or 5 of those guys are going to be in the Hall of Fame if they're not already. Definitely. Randy Moss, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Evans, and Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah, he's in good company.
Moss. That's amazing, man.
That's catching balls from 11 different quarterbacks in his career.
Yeah. So that's the biggie, man. Could you imagine if he had like one quarterback through that entire run?
Imagine sticking him on the Patriots.
Quarterback?
Yeah, sticking him on the Buccaneers with Mike Evans, or it'd be insane. So yeah, the guy's legit number one, and I can't wait to see him in a Bears uniform for 6 years. So yeah, that's my first stat bomb. I'll save another one for later.
He's going to be. That's my my bid for the first touchdown pass from Caleb Williams is to DJ Moore. There was something going on Twitter or X, whatever the heck they call it now, and I was like, DJ Moore, man.
Yeah.
Just look at some of the practice and stuff, the connection they made right off the bat. My thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's awesome. So we're in good shape with injuries. Some good stuff in preseason. The squad's looking good. And I think I wanted to comment from what I've seen again from watching the pressers and just seeing Hard Knocks and all these other things. Is I'm starting to see the reason why Poles kept Flus. I know when they were changing the coaches, it's because of his leadership. It's it's Billy Superstar Graham. Brilliant. It's his leadership. When we were rubbish, like when we started out 0-4, was it about 14 loss streak, which was like record setting. through all that really bad time from this tear down of the roster of the last 2-3 years, the guys never stopped playing for him. And now you're seeing it come together. You're seeing the spirit they've got, the team spirit, the way that locker room is, the way they've got each other's backs, like the stuff you're seeing out of Hallis Hall. That is why they kept him, because we've got 5 players, I think we said, didn't we, that are left from the previous regime. Mm-hmm. So you've turned over all those players, and he's got them all on the same page. And I think that's just a testament to his leadership ability.
The other thing is, I just, look at the change in the infrastructure of the Bears organizations. For 3 decades, we suffered with Ted Phillips as the president. Never really had a consistent GM, president of operations. Sometimes we didn't even have, the positions were just left empty. I mean, just terrible. And you look at it from the president on down now, and just like you said, what Poles has done in such a short time, it appears that this team's got some continuity. The locker room's right. The way Poles treats his players, we've never been at least shown any other GM that's been this with the players that he's even when he's cutting them. And you'll understand that when you watch some of the Hard Knocks Thursday. But I mean, just that's what it's all about too in this game. In most games is creating the right relationships, and then being able to make proper judgments and characters of people.
Yeah,
because that's what it is. I mean, you can have all the skills in the world. We've seen it, Jason. Guys got everything going for him and talent, but if you can't function, and I'm talking, here, you're going to have a problem no matter how great you are at whatever you do. So yeah. I just Poles. I've been saying it since the day we signed him. PGT, man. Poles got this shit. Yeah. Poles got this shit. He's got this job. He knows what he's got to do, and he's doing it.
Yeah. Absolutely. He's so focused, and but I love that he knows he's got to do things that affect people's lives, like when he cuts people. But he does it in the right way, and the guys know business is business, as they said. So he's doing it in a human way, but a way that he sticks to his principles hugely. Some of the players that people were screaming for him to sign in the off season, he wouldn't go over. He obviously sets a budget in his mind, and he won't go past it. So he will not overpay for what he thinks that the team needs. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the way he's got it. I mean, I saw one of Swifty's videos a while ago talking about when Pace left, we had like $80 million in dead cap. We were still paying for Danny Trevathan, for God's sake. It's like crazy money. And the way you do that is you run it on a really tight ship. And he mentioned it in a couple of Hard Knocks ago, didn't he? When they were talking about the Matthew Judon trade. And he said, I set myself these rails to keep things on track, doesn't he? He said, and that is one of them. The thing is, that's really smart, because it means that you can go, well, I'd like this guy. I wasn't going to pay more than this many dollars, but I'm going to go an extra, $5 million. You keep doing that, and suddenly the books don't add up. So that's how he's keeping it tight. He's getting the cap down, and he's just building the team. Because if you're going to be better, aren't you? If you're spending all of your cap space on actual players that play for you, you're going to do better than if you're paying, 3 or 4 players that aren't even on the squad. So I love the way he's building it. It's absolutely brilliant. So I am so pumped and excited. I cannot wait for football, man. This off season is finally almost over, and we're going to be getting some action finally. Rather than preseason, which has been great, to be fair. But first game 1, cannot wait. Shorty, good luck being there, man. I know you're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. So it's the Titans. So let's have a quick chat about them. They've got a new head coach, new OC, new DC. So a whole new sort of chain up there. The head coach calls the plays, Brian Callahan. Interesting fact, I don't know if this happens anywhere else, but Bill Callahan, his father, is the O-line coach on the same team. So a bit of a family connection. Brian Callahan was the Bengals OC since 2019, so he knows about calling plays. He's not new at the job. Let's see how it goes. Will Levis, obviously, is their quarterback. This is in his second year, had 9 starts last year, threw 8 touchdowns, but 4 of them were in the very first game. And then he got another 4 over the next 8 games. He's got a decent arm. He's fairly mobile, but still inexperienced, and there's been a bit of change. They've got three quite good wide receivers now. They've done some signing there. So they've got DeAndre Hopkins, I think, has been a bit of an injury doubt. I don't know if he'll play on Sunday. Calvin Ridley, who missed 2022, obviously, for slight irregularities in his financial life. And then Tyler Boyd, they signed in the summer. So 3 pretty good receivers. I'd still like to argue that perhaps our 3 are better. Obviously, Rome's a rookie, but we'll see. But our top 2 certainly going to give them a competition. On their offensive line, of course, they signed centre Lloyd Cushenberry from the Denver. Obviously, a lot of Bears fans wanted us to go after him, but he's got a big payday there. The right side of their line is quite established, but their left guard is Peter Skoronsky, who again was out last year, wasn't he? It was his rookie year. He was officially listed as a tackle, but he's got short arms, so he's moved inside. And then they took J.C. Latham at left tackle, so they're going to have a rookie left tackle, which could be interesting. Go Montez Sweat and Darrell and Booker. So it could be interesting to see how they face up. So that could be a weakness. Go ahead, Foster.
No, I was just going to say, everything you're talking about, I'm in a total agreement with. I wanted to throw it in earlier, and I kind of missed it. Was the pickup of Tyler Boyd, just an underrated receiver. He's one of my faves. I mean, you could pluck him in the middle of any team offensively, and the guy's going to fit in and be productive, man. He's proven it over and over in Cincinnati, and I'm sure we're going to see more. That's one of my guys to watch out for this season with the Titans, because I think not being around Jamar Chase and T. Higgins is going to, when they were injured last year, boy, did that guy step up. So, I mean, it's a big pickup for Tennessee. And then defensively, some people are saying they're overhyped. Some people are saying they're underhyped. I just see it as a solid defensive unit if the new pieces that Tennessee has put in place have gelled together here during the preseason and in training camp. It's going to be a question like I had with the Bears, man. Are they going to come out flat because they haven't had time to get continuity? And hopefully the Titans defense comes out flat. That we could use that advantage, something like that, early in the season. So this is not a gimme for the Bears. I think they're favored by 4 points, and last year we were favored by 1.5 or 2 points to beat Green Bay. And what happened there by the third quarter? We were done. We were done. I know. So,
it's grim, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm trying not to think like that. I'm trying to. That's what I love about this time of the season, right? The thing is what I love about it, and I saw a couple of things where people, and I think people will reflect their personality, won't they? If you're pessimistic and you're careful, you go, yeah, well, we could be good, but I'm going to wait and see. And then there's other people that are just so hyped and positive and want to be like, yeah, we could be brilliant, and then you want us to prove it. So people will say one thing or the other, and I don't think anyone can tell anyone else how to be a fan. It's just some people are thinking, well, I'm nervous, I'm not sure. Hey, Jay Grizz, good to see you, man. Bear down. And others can be, a bit more apprehensive. I still have that little voice on my shoulder sometimes. It goes, oh, remember what happened week 1 last year? We were all so excited and we came out and it was awful. But, we shall see. We shall see what happens. But I'm going to go on the defense in a minute. But one thing I wanted to mention about, again, a couple of things with the offense. It was obviously they lost Derrick Henry. So that's going to change their running game because that guy was a battering ram. They got Tony Pollard, who last season wasn't so great, but he's still a good runner. I remember he's torn us to pieces a couple of times for the Cowboys. Go ahead, Frost.
Tajay Spears.
Yeah, I was going to come on to
we saw what he did last year in bits and pieces. I just think he's an underrated back. He was one of my guys too. I actually had him on my fantasy team last year, and I got him again this year.
Yeah. Yeah, he had 52 catches for 385 yards last year and 453 rushing yards as a rookie. Yep. So, and that was behind Derrick Henry.
And that's behind Derrick Henry, right?
No slouch. So they've got a decent enough kind of double, 1-2 punch at the back there. But again, it depends on how our defense comes out against that, because we were pretty good against the run last year. So that's an interesting matchup, but different with Derrick Henry. The other big thing I think is interesting to watch for them will be the clash in styles potentially from Will Levis and his new offensive coordinator, his new play caller. Because there's the OC at the Bengals last year, Brian Callahan, their new head coach, who's calling plays on offense. He had his 2 quarterbacks, Joe Burrow and then Jake Browning, who came in when Burrow was injured, had the lowest in the NFL in air yards per pass attempt at 6.3 and 6.4. But Will Levis last year in the NFL had the highest number of air yards per attempt in the entire league. So Levis likes to sling it, likes to chuck it. But his new OC or his new head coach play caller likes to hit the short stuff. So we'll see how they come out, who wins that kind of battle. But I imagine I know who's going to be calling the plays. So that could be interesting to watch. And And yeah, so I think potentially we've got a weakness in the left-hand side of their offensive line we'd exploit for our guys, for our rush. And then their new running back room. And yeah, that's it. That's kind of it for the offense. It could be interesting. Like I say, it's not a gimme. And I am a homer, so I kind of I think the Bears could win this. And again, like you said, it depends on how our offense comes out. God, I'm really boiling. Look at my face. I'm red as hell. It's really cold here. It's pretty warm in here, to be fair, this room. But yeah, anyway, I digress. So we'll see. I think there's no pushover, but I think I remember seeing us doing a bit of scrolling to see who thinks what. I checked out some guy who's betting, and he's got it as this week's upset for him, like some betting guy. And what really made me laugh was he talked about how the Bears have got all these new pieces they need to make fit, but then the Titans have had a really great offseason with some good additions. It's like, well, that's kind of the same thing, right? So again, it's just what you think might happen. So yeah, we shall see. But that's their offense. There's some new pieces there, some good talent. I'm really interested to see the Tyler Boyd in the slot versus Kyler Gordon matchup on Sunday. That should be pretty cool. Loving Spider-Man, Kyler Man in the preseason.
It could be a pretty important matchup too.
Absolutely, yeah. So to their defense, again, they've got a new defensive coordinator, Denard Wilson. He was the Ravens defensive backs coach last year, and before that, he was in the same role with the Rams, the Jets, and the Eagles. He was their DB coach when they went to the Super Bowl. So again, a new guy. Will have his own scheme, but not used to calling the plays as far as I'm aware. The Titans defense last year had 14 takeaways all year. Only the Panthers had fewer, 11. So they didn't tear up any trees just getting takeaways. So that could be to our advantage, hopefully. But of course, they have added Jamal Adams and where is he? L'Jarius Sneed. Obviously, they traded for him, give a pick for him. So he's pretty good. So their secondary, you could say, is improved, I reckon, if they're fit. And Quandre Diggs, too, they got him. So the safety room could be improved. Again, it's about how they all fit together. Shorty, Super Bowl bound, baby.
Yeah. He's
Why not?
it.
This is it. This is the time of year when everyone's equal. This is it, where everyone we just dream. That's what it's all about. So the defense, they've got the new DC, the lower income takeaways, and also, like you said about the Bears and the pressure, is there. Last year, their defensive front got 18% pressure on 18% of snaps, which was ranked 27th in the NFL. And they lost to Danico Autry, who was their leading sack. He got 11.5 sacks and led the team, and he's gone to the Texans, who, by the way, what a pass rush that's going to be. So he's gone. However, they still got Harold Landry. He had 10.5 sacks. He's still there, and they've added Tavondre Sweat in the draft, that monster of a man at defensive tackle. And they've still got Jeffrey Simmons, of course. So it's not a bad defensive front. So, but again, they didn't get a great lot of pressure last year, which could be helpful for us with our fairly inexperienced O-line in places. But
a lot of similarities defensive wise. Not a lot of pressure. Supposedly, the Titans' defensive backfield has been improved, or it appears it has.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of similarities defensively, because we weren't getting pressure either, but yet we were still pretty darn effective for not getting that type of pressure, whereas the Titans weren't as effective as we were.
Yeah.
But you're talking about two losing teams anyway, so
yeah, absolutely.
Let's see what happens Sunday. Hopefully we kick their freaking ass. I actually, this is what I wanted to say, because I keep forgetting to say this. So when on Bears Country Podcast, when we did our preseason predictions, I actually have the Bears losing this game. I mean, I can't hide this. They brought it up and showed it Thursday night. They showed it. The first two games I had for the Bears this season are losses. I have since turned around, and I think I got the Bears winning like 24-17, which sticks to my line that I've been talking about, is where this defense needs to give up less than 20, and the offense got to learn to score 26, 28 points a game. And then maybe Shorty's right. Maybe we are Super Bowl bound if that happens, dude. It's winning numbers. You can't lose with those numbers, but consistency and continuity.
Yeah, some luck with injuries, it always helps. Yeah, definitely. Knock on wood. But yeah, it's exciting to get a good opener at home. A team that perhaps isn't one of the hot favourites. So I think we expect a good result. But it's like I say, it's going to be a gimme. It's a tough game, like they all are. Brewhall, love it. 31-12. I'm going for that. Do you know what I think they're going to try and do? And this is what I think they're obviously very aware that Caleb is a rookie. So I think they're going to really focus on, maybe it's just totally the obvious, but just getting their ball in the hands of playmakers quickly.
Yeah.
I think they're not going to mess about. I know they'll take some shots. Vitality, let's have it. Oh, sorry, I took it off.
Sorry, that's okay.
I'm clicking. That's it, yeah. Brilliant. So I'm expecting, Brewhoff's defensive score. I wouldn't be surprised. I swear. If our defense comes out like they finished last season, and that's what we're hoping. I know some people, loads of people, just really kind of pissing me off, are sleeping on our defense. You know what I mean? It's like the disrespect they're getting in terms of things like JJ not being in the top 100. I stopped looking at ESPN now because it's just clickbait rubbish. It's not even news. It's just the opinion pieces where some guy just wants to put his bit out there just to get clicks, I think, half the time. Because they are, to rate our secondaries, that I think they put it down as, was it 19th or something really crazy? It's like they're not paying attention. It's like they're just not paying attention. Did you not see the back half of last season? It's like our defense is legit. We're missing, like I say, one sort of all-pro defensive end and maybe a D tackle from being elite. So, and we still got a couple of guys that have something to prove. I think I'm expecting, I'm hoping for good things. I've actually had a cheeky little bet on Austin Booker. But with Sweat on one side, they've got a chance with, if Dexter can produce. We know we were a bit disappointed in the preseason because it looked at in training like he was blowing things up. But if he can make his leap and start getting some pressure inside, then those guys, on the other side, Hardy and Booker, will get a good chance to get at the quarterback. So we know how good our linebackers are. We know how good our secondary is. This is, I'm ready. I'm so ready for football, man. I'm so ready. The berserker, like it.
I was just going to throw on.
Sorry, mate. The more turnovers, the more Caleb has ball in. Yeah, and shortly, I agree. This is definitely something that they talked about. Some have mentioned it, but I don't think there's ever been a number one pick quarterback that's come into a better situation than this. With a top 5 defense that's going to get the ball in his hands more often, that's going to give him less to do in terms of scores. If you can keep them under 20 points, if you can take the ball away, give him the ball back, and we'll have a punter who can hopefully pin the opposition inside the 10 regularly to put that pressure, that field position pressure on the opposition. I think there's never been a number one quarterback picked that has been into a better situation with the players he's got, the experienced pros that he's got as his weapons. So they're going to work on getting the ball out of his hands and into the hands of the playmakers quick. But then there's going to be times, I think we're going to see it like we did in preseason, when the pocket breaks down, he rolls about a bit. And the difference between him and Justin is that his guys are always downfield still. And we've got three receivers that when that happens, one of them's going to get open. And we know that Caleb can make those throws to make it happen. It's unreal, the throws we've seen from him. Nothing I've seen before from a Bears quarterback. So, okay.
I was just going to say, what we're talking about with defense, I mentioned this even Thursday. This could come down to literally which quarterback makes the least mistakes in this game. If you look at the way the two teams are matched, you've got a rookie and you've got a second-year quarterback. We have some idea what Willis is because we saw some of it last year. We think we know what Caleb Williams is, but we have never seen it in an NFL full-speed game. But, so I just, again, I'm like, this could literally come down to which offensive team makes the least mistakes, because a turnover here or there or a muff punt return or something like that could be critical in this game. I hope it's not. I hope we come out and kill them, but I got to look at everything from all angles and be realistic.
Yeah, agreed. So, yeah, absolutely. And sometimes strange things happen in week one, don't they? It's like we beat the 49ers, didn't we? And admittedly, the weather was a factor in that. But, it's week one, you've got new players, new pieces. And maybe that could be something that helps in our advantage, is that they've got an entirely new set of coaches. So we don't know how they're going to all settle. So maybe that'll make a difference. I say one turnover here. But I think if they get on a roll, I think if this, I love the spirit of our defense this off-season from what I've seen in practice. I think those guys are after it now. I think they got a real chip on their shoulder, particularly Jalen Johnson. Sometimes when a player gets the bag, you think they kind of switch off a bit and you think, okay, I've made it. I've got my big contract. But that guy seems lit, man. I think he seems driven this year to be even better. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I'm excited to see him out there again. Hopefully Tyreek can continue to improve like he did at the end of last season. And that's going to be a great cornerback duo going forward. And then with Kyler in the slot, I think this year we're going to be. I've got really high hopes for this defense. Cannot wait.
Throwing in some blitzes that they showed in preseason sure might not hurt either, man. I mean,
yeah,
you look at the way we ran the defense the last 2 years with that, and it'd be nice to see a change for the better when it comes to blitzes. I mean, come on, let's play some situational football here on a weekly basis. None of this, and I'm not even trying to get on the coaches. It's the winning teams do this. They do this. They play situational football on a higher tier than your average team, and the Bears need to step it up there. I'm sure a lot of it had to do with personnel. Our personnel has improved. It's not to the point where we would like it. I know that just from Ryan Pohl's own words, but it's a work in progress, and we are moving up the ladder as opposed to standing still there. I can't wait for this game, man.
I know.
I'm gonna try and steal Shorty's ticket Saturday night. I'll knock him out and take his ticket and leave him for dead up there in Crystal Lake. But I don't know if it's gonna work.
Shorty, delivery, knock him on the head.
Yeah, I got it all set up, man. He's invited me out there. I'm gonna go out there and just take the ticket.
Well, obviously you've just told him now, so maybe I'll have to. New plan.
I probably won't be on the show next week. I'll be in jail, but at least I'll get to see the Bears game Sunday.
You'll have seen the first Caleb Williams game. Yeah,
yep. I got to take it with a grain of salt, man. It is what it is. I could do the time still, right? No.
That's up to you, mate.
No.
Right, and then talking of which, right, I'm going to give you one more. I'll do this. Leave it to me, Foster. I've got this. Here comes another. Another of Jason. Right, snap bomb. Here it is. I messaged Shorty with this one when I saw it. In the preseason, we are only the 7th team to outscore their opponents by 60 or more points. Of the previous 6 that did that in preseason, all of them made the playoffs, and 2 of them won the Super Bowl. Just saying. It's just a stat. You can do what you want with that. I'm just saying that's how it is. So, yeah, the 7th team to outscore their opponents. And the thing is as well is that about the preseason, look at the teams we played. And I know this first, second string and third string and all these others, but this is our depth against their depth. That's a good measure of our squad, isn't it? 3 contenders in the AFC, and we battered them, didn't we? So, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for this season, man. I'm so ready.
It's you know what I that's a pretty cool stat. You told me that before the show, and I was going, wow, that's pretty interesting. Because I'm a guy who just the preseason means nothing. I mean, what did Buffalo, was it last year or the year before Mitch came back and killed us 2 years ago? So I'm not big on the preseason, but sometimes stats, the numbers don't lie, the percentage. But I'm again, man, I've been doing this for, 50, 60 years almost with the Bears.
Yeah.
I got to see it because I've just been through too much freaking heartache and too much crap, man.
We're all like that. I know. And this is the beauty of it. I think that's why we're all so excited is this Sunday we're actually going to see it. It starts now, not the title of the show. Let's just get this dynasty rolling now. It's time, right? Let's just do it. I kind of love it. I'm fully bought into Shorty's theory about the it'll be so Bears, right, to just never have a passer throw 4,000 yards or 30 touchdowns, and then we take a rookie, and a rookie's never won the Super Bowl. It would be, we're the Bears, man. We're a founding franchise. We're a storied franchise in this league. And yeah, why not? Let's just I'm all in until Sunday, maybe. But the thing is, it's real. That's what I love about it, is all the talking's over, all this pontification we've all been doing all the season, over the off season. And I think I'm kind of more excited because I've never been this deep into everything in the off season. Do you know what I mean? It's the last few years I had I followed the Bears in the 80s. I saw the Super Bowl, the first half of it. As a teenager, I stole into my parents' bedroom because they used to go to bed late. So I managed to stay up. I had school the next day. I was 14, and they called me at half time and sent me to bed. So I watched the first half live. And this is the days before the internet. We used to get a weekly paper that told you about it, and there was CFAX, the old teletext information service on the telly. And I managed to find out the next day that they absolutely humped the Patriots. And then I had to wait years and years until I could get a video cassette, a VHS to play of the game. You know what I mean? So it's not like now when an hour later I can watch the full game on highlights. So this is. So I took a break after that because I went away in the Air Force and I did some stuff and I didn't. It was onto a cable Sky TV, like satellite TV. I didn't have that. I lost touch with it. I followed the soccer. I came back home like a few years back after leaving the Air Force to spend time with my family. And my old man has got Sky, so I was like, how are the Bears doing? So I started watching it, and I just got more and more and more. And I obviously found new guys and all the podcasts. So I'm now like deep in. I've never stayed up and watched a draft before, but that's 2 years now I've done it. So maybe that's why I'm so excited, as I've never been sort of this deep into all this kind of off-season stuff with you guys across the pond. And just loving it. I've never known so much about. I learn about football all the time from some of these crazy rules about injured reserves.
Chicago Bears. It's a serious disease, man.
I've got it, man. So now I pay £160 a year for the NFL Game Pass. I watch every game live. I watch all the highlights. I've watched Walter Payton of Football Life. I've watched that film about 5 times. All of those. I've watched the reruns of the entire 85 Bears Super Bowl. I'm loving it. It's just great. And I'm just ready to go, ready to roll and watch some history being made. So I think this is, I think we've never had a general manager like this. Brew Hall, nice. Let's have a look. I put it up. 47. Only 47. He's a baby. So only 42 years of fandom for me. I feel like a baby compared to Foster. There's no need for that.
Man, Brew Hall, that's a long time. That's somebody's lifetime, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm ready.
47. I wish I was 47 again. Damn it! But I'd have to know what I know now. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. I don't even know because I don't know what world we're living in. Sorry.
No. Well, you wouldn't have. If you were all wise as a kid, you wouldn't have had as much fun. That's what I think. You don't want to take all that wisdom. The whole point of being young is to be a bit stupid. We've all done it, and then you get a bit older.
Really good at it, Jason.
I look forward to a few stories in December, mate, when I'm over in America.
Absolutely.
But so I think we're kind of there, aren't we? I think we covered most things that we wanted to. I think everyone's excited. Everyone's ready for football, and I cannot wait to see this team perform. Anything else to add, mate? Before we get out of here.
No, I like I said to close there. I'm like, you got to show me, man. I mean, everything looks great, but I have been saying that. I said that last year. I'm like, man, things are looking better. We're going to be better, and we were a little better in the end. So, me and Peach, man. Well, you just got to prove it to us because we're those old freaking guys that like I can even see stuff with my own eyes, and I still don't believe it because I was told as a kid, believe almost none of what you hear and about half what you see because your eyes can deceive you too, kid. And a little tyke they were telling me this, and it's just stuck because too many times it's true. I'm excited though, man. I can't wait for I've even because I'm usually doing stuff on Sundays, so I've always got to make time in my schedule. This will be the first Sunday this year. I mean, I even had problems at the end of last season being able to watch a game at noon on a Sunday. So this is I'm really I've got everything set up to where actually I'm just going to watch this game and enjoy it by myself.
Definitely.
Unless Shorty's in town, I'll still get to throw him out because that fricker's going to the game and I'm not. But, I can't wait for Sunday. I'm ready for tomorrow even.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I missed the football, I miss football, period.
Definitely. Yeah, it's still nearly here. So, I can't wait. We're going to just see what it's all about. Yeah, we've built this team. Poles has done a brilliant job. I'm really happy with the coaching hires. I'm just ready to go, man. I think it's going to be exciting either way. Because I think Caleb just makes plays, doesn't he? That's the thing. It's you don't want to say it, but you can only go on what you've seen. He's done some special stuff already in preseason, so let's hope we can put it all together. We're going to see more, I think, of the kickoff rules. I think no one's really done anything with that yet. I think people have got plans for that. They'll be plotting all sorts of crazy things, and someone's going to rip a big one out. I think first weekend, someone's going to take one to the house, maybe, because all you need is a hole, isn't it? All you need is a big enough hole. One of those guys to shoot through. There's not a lot once you're through that line, so. we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see the punter. I've never been so excited to see someone punt in my life. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, we're good to roll, man. I'm looking forward to it. I know you are. Everyone is. We can stop talking and we can watch what the Bears are going to be. Go on.
Let me ask you this. I just was curious. Do you think, and we were talking about this Thursday too, the body type for the new kickoff rules. Do you think a running back or a wide receiver is going to be more successful on the kickoff? I mean, your wide receiver is going to have the speed, but if he can't get through the line, what good is the speed? It's just I'm just throwing it out there for people to think about because I've been pondering this. Oh man, pontification, freaking shorty.
Bears country pontification.
yeah. But I just, I keep going over it. I'm like, well, I guess I'd have to look at each individual player that would be possibly doing the kick return because I got to look at their body type and their numbers and their size. So I just thought I'd throw it out there. We could take care of some business too with the old BetUS. We never did our little commercial and
I
don't
know if can Brits can we join BetUS? Is that just an American thing? I don't know. Can we do it over here? But the channel is sponsored by BetUS, though, isn't it? So if for all we've got some American friends in here and various people, Canada, I know. So if there we go.
Yeah, get 125% bonus with the link below, bit.ly/BearsCountryPodcast. BetUS. I've actually been with them for a while. I've been with BetUS for a while. I even get the catalogs. I think I showed it.
Maybe you showed it on the show.
I know I showed it Thursday because it's got a lot of information, more than I anticipated. So. If you're going to bet too, though, bet responsibly. I got to be PJ now.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, Brewhorse says it's a boxing game and then V12 on kickoff return. I can see him doing that. See him doing that. I said before, I thought they'd find a role for Valus because I remember Hard Knocks 2 or 3 weeks ago? Chad Morton said he loved the kid. He said he loves his attitude. Yeah. And we saw in the Kansas City game what he can do. And I know, people still go on about his fumbles. It was his first season he fumbled 2 punts, and that was it. The following season, he didn't have 1 fumble. So, I thought Waldron are trying to find a way to get the ball in his hands because he can make plays. His speed and size are rare. Yeah. So, it's probably, he needs a good year because obviously he's coming up to his 3rd year now, isn't it? I think he's coming up to the end of his contract. So he'll want to he'll want a good year. But I thought they'd find a place for him.
He might be the perfect body type with his speed for this. We've seen what he's done at the running back position in preseason. And I said this too the other day. I said, man, I'm hoping, but I think it's going to happen. They said there's going to come a day when you look up and the guy just tore one off for 65 or 70 yards, man. I think it's going to happen. I don't know if that'll be on a pass, a run, a kickoff return. I'm not expecting to see the guy on punt returns because we've seen what happens with punt returns.
Yeah,
I mean,
not punt returns.
He did have a couple fumbles last season, not fumbles, but had a little problem grasping the ball. One of them was on a kickoff.
Passes, yeah.
And I believe the other one was on a pass where he should have had those in his hand and bobbled them to where it cost him. But let's see what this year brings, man. Let's see what this year brings.
He had the end around for 40 odd yards and a touchdown, wasn't it? So I know, he's got some stuff to prove, but he's just, I think they're there. You can talk about whether it's because it's one of their draft picks, they're not going to give up on him. But I think, get the ball in his hand, see what he can do. We got some playmakers, man, on this team now.
Yeah,
absolutely playmakers on this team. So I think this is going to be one to watch. I can't wait. Let's get out of here. I think we're going to repeat ourselves now. But I'm excited. You're excited. Everyone's excited. Looking forward to the Titans game. There's some stuff to watch. I think we're good to go. You ready, Foster? So we end this shit on a 1-2.
As soon as I find the closer, we can dance, dude.
Okay.
I am.
Got it?
I am ready. So,
okay.
How do you want to end?
So, 3, 2, 1. Bears.